the Chase Thomas Podcast, for people who have nothing but time to kill.
Washington with Chris Peterson. What should Falcons fans know, or what, when you look at the Falcons personnel, does it strike you as a Jimmy Lake fit? Because it's kind of an under the radar big jump for him, I think.
So the first thing you need to know about Jimmy Lake is that man knows how to recruit, find, and develop defensive backs. He recruited Sidney Jones and Buda Baker, recruited Trent McDuffie, recruited Miles Bryant. You know, all those great Washington DBs that we know from like modern day Washington football, Jimmy Lake was the guy who got them there. So you think about potentially a next step for Clark Phillips. You know, you think about unlocking Jesse Bates even more. Something that Ryan Nielsen really did really well is kind of use Jesse Bates as the centerpiece of the defense, you know, allowing him to play everywhere on the field and be the versatile matchup spot. So I think about that. I also think this should not stop them. This kind of prioritizes their ability to go get a corner on day 2 if they really want another outside guy, if they believe Clark Phillips can be the Trent McDuffie, you know, play him in the slot and you can win there, because love Clark Phillips, kind of tiny. Like that's just, you really can't win like that on the outside. So if you want to go get a guy like, you know, maybe Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri, that would.
Do you think they go 8? Could they go corner or safety at 8 just because of what Lake's, like, he might value the secondary more than anything else?
So I think Atlanta at 8 is going to take the first defender. And I think that'll either be Dallas Turner or Terrion Arnold. I wouldn't be surprised at either. You know,
Kool-Aid McKinstry, would that surprise you?
Kool-Aid at 8 would surprise me. If they trade back and take Kool-Aid around the mid to late 20s, that wouldn't surprise me. But I think Kool-Aid is more of a mid to late first round pick. I truly do want to see his long speed, because he kind of coasted a little bit, and he was not to say that he didn't play well this year, but he kind of got overshadowed by Terrion Arnold, who is phenomenal, by the way, just a phenomenal player. I think he spoke about it at length, but the Tennessee game last year, he got torched, and he went back in and was like, hey, that's never happening to me again. And he proved it, you know, that he plays with the mentality of a number 1 corner. And you think about pairing him with AJ Terrell, that seems pretty fun to me, you know?
Yeah.
But the Falcons desperately need some pass rush. They need a different type of pass rusher. They have a bunch of I'm going to push through you, you know? Like, I think Dallas Turner that's the perfect fit. That's the perfect player for them. Just the explosion, the burst, the length, the ability to play against the run. I think Jimmy Lake, as a coordinator, is going to be fairly good. I don't think it's going to be phenomenal. It might take a little bit, because, you know, going from college to the NFL, very different game. But the dude knows how to get the best out of his DBs. I wonder how the Falcons are going to potentially generate pass rush, especially if Grady Jarrett is not 100% coming off the injury.
He's also just older. Like, I think Grady Jarrett just might be, I mean, he's on the wrong side of his career, I think, now. Like, it doesn't mean he's not going to be a really good player, but I think his best football is probably behind him.
Yeah. You can't count on Grady Jarrett to be your only viable pass rusher, which is why I think you have to go get Dallas Turner. Or if you want to trade back, I think Lantu Latu would be a perfect fit in that defense.
Scary with the injury stuff, where he retires and comes back and I don't know.
I know it scares you with the injuries, but if he has a clean bill of health, he is the best pass rusher in the draft. Just in his ability, regardless of what kind of set is thrown at him, he has great hand usage, great counter moves. But I think Atlanta, honestly, they can stay at 8 and pick the best defender available. Or, you know, if Minnesota wants to trade up for a quarterback, my scenario has always been, instead of jumping straight from 11 to 5 or 11 to 4, they do what the Eagles did in 2016 to draft Carson Wentz. They go from 11 to 8 and then 8 to 4. So they trade out, because Atlanta doesn't need a quarterback now, but they can stay in the range for the top defender. And then Atlanta or Minnesota can jump from 8 to 4. So Arizona can stay within range of any of the top receivers while also getting that second first round pick.
No. I like it. Final thing here. Jarrett, I had to end here with you. OBJ, your favorite. Do you like a
Nicely
potential
done,
fit
nephew.
for Odell Beckham
The
Jr.
Chase Thomas podcast. Hell yeah.